Hola, welcome back to my channel. You can call me Jay, Joss, or Isabella. Sorry about that. Today I'm gonna be doing an Encanto tier ranking video. I'll be tier ranking all of the Madrigals, including Mariano. Yeah, here's my tier list that I made, and here are all the characters. I put them all in alphabetical order, cause why not? Okay, and before I start ranking them, here's my disclaimer before I start ranking them. How I rank them will be based on my own personal opinion, so you're allowed to disagree with how I rank these characters, okay? But be respectful of my ranking. So yeah, be respectful of my opinions, and yeah, that's all to say. Okay, so let me introduce the tier ranking list I made. So for the top tier, I made a rainbow, because as you know, in the the Encanto film, whenever Peppa makes a rainbow because of her gift, which controls the weather based on her emotions, a rainbow usually means that she's very happy. So, whichever characters I put on this tier are characters that I really love and they make me very happy. Okay, next we have Julietta's Arepas. I named this tier Julietta's Arepas because I like to imagine that Julieta has very delicious arepas. Yeah, I think they might be good. So yeah, I'll put them here. So characters that I think are good, like they're not my favorite, but I still think they're good, they'll be placed on this tier. Next we have the neutral tier. I named it Chispy the Capybara. That's the name of Antonio's little capybara friend. Yeah, like throughout the movie she's just very neutral and chill. So yeah, just that's why I named the neutral one after her. So any character I add on this tier are characters I'm neutral about. Next we have Cracks in the Casita. The characters in this tier are characters that I don't really like. Like, I don't strongly dislike them, but yeah, I don't really like them. But I just don't like them that much. And then finally the bottom tier, I called it We Don't Talk About Them. No, no, no. So the characters on this tier will be characters that I strongly dislike. Okay, yeah. And without further ado, let's start tier ranking all these characters. And since I'm going alphabetical order, I'll be starting with Agustin. So Agustine's the clumsy one. So he's the clumsy guy. He's married to Julieta, and he's the father of Isabella, Luisa, and Mirabel. He seems like a very nice guy, always willing to help, according to what we see. And he loves his wife and seems to love his daughters very much too. I like in the movie how he stood up for Mirabel after the dinner scene. Like, he wasn't afraid to talk back to his mother-in-law. And yeah, I like that about him. Seems like the guy who would stand up for his daughters. And yeah, he seems like a very good guy, very clumsy, very loving father and husband. The only downside of Agustin is that I'm honestly not the biggest fan of his voice actor, so that knocks him down a few points, unfortunately. But besides that, he seems like a very nice guy, so I'll put him in the Julieta Tarapas tier. Well, he's gonna need, with how clumsy he is, he's gonna need a bunch of Julieta Tarapas anyways. I like the headcanon that Julieta always prepares like some food for him due to how clumsy he is, and he always has like her food on him whenever he's out and about outside of Casita. So yeah, he's gonna need a lot of those. Okay, next we have Abuela Alma. Now, this might be a bit controversial. She's a very controversial character because of how she treated her family, and people didn't really like the way she treated her family, especially Mirabel. Honestly, I don't strongly dislike Abuela, but I don't love her either. I'm just gonna put her in Chispy the capybara. Her relationship with Isabella reminds me of my own relationship with my grandma. Like, we're both as close as what I like to think Isa and how close that Isa and Abuela are. Yeah, she reminds me of my grandma too. And that things, yeah. I like how she try and get better at the end of the movie. Like, she's trying to be better Abuela and Mama to her family. And yeah. Okay, we have Antonio. So Antonio, he's the cute little animal loving guy. Seems like a very shy kid. Like, he reminds me of myself when I was a kid. Like, I was the shy animal lover kid. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian when I grew up. But that never happened because I don't like seeing sick or hurt animals. So, you know, I couldn't bear to be a veterinarian. And especially as of recording this, it's the end of April 2025, and last month my dog passed away. And yeah, I wouldn't really enjoy being a vet because seeing sick and hurt animals, but also having to put animals down, and my dog had to be put down, so that's kind of a sensitive subject to me, so I wouldn't be doing that. But yeah, it reminds me of like shy animal loving kid I was. Still love animals, but I wouldn't say like as much as Antonio, but I prefer animals over humans most of the time. Yeah. But and I made a rainbow because he's one of my favorite characters. Like, he's just a cute little kid, and hasn't done anything wrong. Okay. But there's no reason to be hating on Antonio. So yeah, Okay, next we got Bruno. No. I can relate to Bruno. In some ways, like, I'm an autistic person, and I was diagnosed, 2025, so 2 years ago I was like diagnosed in 2023 when I was 21 years old. All my life I kind of felt misunderstood since I wasn't diagnosed, and I just always thought something was wrong with me. It was just always the weird quiet kid. I don't know. Bruno reminds me of myself. Seems like the weird, awkward, socially awkward guy. And a lot of people in the Encanto community, they headcanon Bruno as being autistic. They also ADHD as well. I mean, not ADHD, sorry, OCD. Which, that can happen. It's like, there's always like an overlap with OCD and autism, because a lot of people get diagnosed with both. Sometimes it's very common for autistic people to be OCD. But, yeah, I don't know. Seems like very caring. Like, he quote unquote left the house to protect Mirabel, and I like love that for him. He seems very passionate about theater. Yeah, he's just a misunderstood, socially awkward guy who loves his family, and I don't know what to say. I especially love his voice actor compared to Augustine, especially with everything going on in the world right now. I love how he's been standing up for the Latino community and stuff. Yeah, I'm just, put him on I Made a Rainbow. He's like one of my other favorite characters as well. Yeah. I know this is kind of a bit of a tangent, but I love Bruno. Okay, next we got Camilo. I don't know, where do I start? Be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Camilo. I don't know why. I just don't. He's the character I like the least out of all of the Madrigals. I don't know. It's just because we don't really know much about him, and he just seems to be like a very annoying person. Honestly, annoying Isabella and his sister. And so I don't know, but he seems to be caring for his mom because that one scene. Well, I think it was after the dinner scene, after the failed proposal dinner. He was like trying to calm down his mama and giving her tea. Yeah, but he seems like someone who cares about his family. Like, he jokes around a lot, but still, when he seems to be someone who be serious when he has to be serious. Yeah, it just seems like someone who cares about his family, despite being like a goof, like a jokester and stuff. Yeah, I'll just put him Crocs and Basita. Just don't like. No. Sorry, Camilo. And of course, we can't rank the Madrigals without having Casita on the list. Put Casita on Made of Rainbow because obviously the movie takes place mostly inside Casita, and we love how Casita tried to save Mirabel with a little bit of energy they had left while sorry, not the castle, the Casita was falling down. Yeah, put it on Made of Rainbow. Yeah, she's like the main part of the movie. I don't know why I'm calling Casita but yeah, she's the main part of the movie. Oh, you know, I don't have anything else to say. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention while I'm ranking all these characters, I'll also talk about like how I relate to them. I forgot for Agustin, I forgot to add that he reminds me of my grandfathers because they're fatherly figures in my life. So, you know, I already mentioned Abuela. I mentioned Antonio and Bruno. I don't know how I can relate to a magical house, but yeah, I guess maybe because Casita, it's a oh my god, I can't speak. Multi-generational house. Like all this big family is like multi-generational house. They're all living in this casita. I guess I can relate to that. Cause my household's a generational household. So yeah, I guess that's the only way I can relate to casita. I have a big family into my house. Well, not as big, but not as big as Madrigals, but still quite a few people live in this house. Okay, next we have Dolores, who's also a bit controversial due to like her gift and how she's like always telling people stuff that she's not really supposed to be telling people, especially like that scene, that proposal dinner scene. Like she told everyone how Mirabel found Bruno's vision and stuff. People just were very annoyed of people in the Encanto like fandom or community. Pretty much anyone who's ever watched Encanto, many of them didn't really like how Dolores did that. But honestly, I kind of like Dolores, and might be a little bit biased because in one of my roleplay accounts, I'm role playing as her or plan to role play as her. Yeah, so put her in Julieta's Arepas despite like how big controversial she is. And how can I relate to Dolores? Well, she seems like a very soft spoken, especially due to her gift. When I'm like near strangers, I'm very soft spoken, and I'm like Dolores in a way like how I would like walk into a room, people won't notice I'm there unless I like speak up, like how she does. Since I'm soft spoken, especially in like, places I'm not that familiar with, and I'm not around people I'm comfortable with. So, when Julieta's Arepas. Okay, next we have Felix. So, I like how he like validates Peppa's feelings, and he seems like a nice guy and a nice like loving father to his 3 kids. Seems like the life of the party and very outgoing, and he reminds me of like many aunts and uncles, my tios and tias, because they love to party. We have a lot of get-togethers with my family. Put him in I Made a Rainbow. I like him a bit more than Augustine. Sorry, I don't know. I just like his personality more, especially how he's whenever people are like mad about Peppa, like whenever she's like raining or whatever, when she's like in a negative mood, like he validates her emotions, and I really love that, especially like someone who struggles with like anxiety, has like mental illnesses like anxiety and stuff. Yeah, love that for her. I don't know why I keep saying that. Okay, next we have Julieta. She seems like a very loving mother. She's also not afraid to like talk back to her mama. You know, especially like when it comes to Mirabel. kids, and then same with her other daughters. But we don't really see her really interacting with her other two daughters. But yeah, she seems to be like very supportive of mom, especially in like a lot of fics I read. I read a lot of Encanto fanfics, and in a lot of them, she's like, Julieta's like very supportive of her daughters, and I love that for her. She reminds me of my own mom. She's not as, like a cook as my mom, but she's like very supportive of me and my sister. Yeah, I'll put her in Julieta's Arepas. I'm also role playing as her in that same account. I'm role playing Dolores as that. That's Dolores, so yeah. Kind of biased about them, but yeah, I like them. Next we have where should I put Isabella? Isabella, your boyfriend to your top. What? Oh my god. Hold on, no. Wait, sorry. I lost my channel. Put on. I made a rainbow. I'm not very biased at all. It's not like I'm. Well, obviously, if you know me, yeah, I'm very biased about Isabella because I have like that specific account where I roleplay as Isabella. And okay, yeah, no, okay, now I remember something. Isabella is a very controversial character too because of how she treated Mirabel. But honestly, I ignored that sometimes. I know that the way she treated Mirabel, I did not like how she treated Mirabel, but I, like I have that account of her, so I'm very biased. But I also relate to her a lot as being the eldest grandchild and also the older sibling, and I always feel like I have a lot of expectations on me. Like, you know, they're not as like my grandmother and family. They're not as like as strict or as they don't put a lot of pressure on me like Abuela Alma does. But yeah, I relate to her a lot. She's like my favorite character, despite like how controversial she is. She's probably might be a little bit. They're not as controversial as her abuela. But yeah, I love her a lot. She's one of my characters all the time because of how much I can relate to her, but also because of the account. It makes me love her more. So yeah, and I also love her. Well, this is from her What Else Can I Do dress, but I like her dress from at the end of the movie because she's her true self at the end of the movie. But I don't really mind like the purple dress that she's usually marketed with. Like she usually wears and like merchandise and stuff. It's just, yeah. Next we got Luisa. I can also relate to her once again. Being an older sibling, I feel like I have so much pressure on me. I have a lot of anxiety. Like even though I don't think anyone has that much pressure on me like a abuela, but sometimes I feel like I have more pressure on me to do stuff. Especially since I'm autistic and I wasn't diagnosed until I was 21 years old. And I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I put more pressure on myself than anyone else does, really. Yeah, turn that way. But also, I love her character. Like, despite Luisa being very buff and muscular, she's also very feminine. And yeah, I just love that's quite different because a lot of masculine, like very buff, female characters are usually masculine and they're not as feminine as Issa, not Issa, sorry, not Issa, Luisa is. And I love how Disney did not like create her character like that. Like, although she's muscular stuff, doesn't mean she can't be feminine. Yeah, and also like how she's like a very emotionally sensitive person. Like, she's strong physically, but she's a softie. She's very sensitive as well. She wears her heart on her sleeve, I think. Okay, next we have Mariano Guzman. Oh, what? Oh my god, what is going on here? Sorry. Okay, sorry. Put him in speed, a copy barrels. Like, nothing wrong with him. I'm just neutral about him. Well, I love that he was in that dinner scene. He was concerned about Mirabel because she was acting weird. He was like, are you okay? He seems like a caring guy. Okay. And I'm hoping he's treating the Lotus right. Yeah, I mean, how can I relate to him? I don't know. I don't think I can really relate to Mario. Well, I guess creative because he loves poetry, and I'm not into poetry, but I am a creative person. I guess that's how I can relate to Mariano. Next, we have the girl herself, Mirabel. Obviously, I made a rainbow. She love all the sisters. Well, Mirabel reminds me of myself and my younger sister, since we're both very creative people. Specifically, mostly my sister. But yeah. Even the end of the movie, her relationship with Esau reminds me of my relationship with my sister. We never had like a strained relationship like Esau and Mirabel, but we're like very close. I like to think they're very close at the end of the movie, or try to get very close. We improve their relationship with each other at the end of the movie. Yeah, I'm like my sister and I get along pretty well, and like their age gap is like similar to the age gap between me and my sister. So, you know, she's very empathetic. She's a really good protagonist. She cares deeply about her family. Yeah, I was happy for her. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Um, Next we have Abuelo Pedro. Put him in Chesapeake, cause like we don't really know much about him. Well, according to the flashbacks, like he seems very funny. Also to make Abuela laugh. He seems like a caring father. Like for the first only like for a few seconds we see him looking after looking after his kids. He risked his life for Alma and their children and all the other villagers that were escaping with them. Yeah, I don't know. Someone puts other people before him. How can I relate to him? I guess reminds me of my great grandfather that I don't really know much about, since my great grandfather passed away when I was 6, so I didn't really know much. And he lived in a different country, so I didn't get to see him often. Yeah, I guess that's the only way I know about him. And finally, we got Senora Peppa herself. Relate to her a lot. Like I said, I have anxiety, and her storm clouds and rain clouds, they kind of remind me of when I'm very anxious, and I feel like I invalidate my feelings sometimes a lot, because I'm very much a people pleaser, and yeah, like, people don't get mad at me for my emotions, especially when I feel anxious or like upset. But I feel like I invalidate my feelings a lot, like Peppa does. Yeah, I'll just put in. I made a rainbow with my favorite characters as well. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. My mind's like blanking today, but I really wanted to get this video done with. Yeah, I think it's my final ranking of all the characters. So, got all the sisters, Casita, Bruno, Peppa, Felix, and Antonio. Yeah, I'm sorry. Antonio's my favorite out of Peppa and Felix's kids. Okay, so we got, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, alright, this video's like all over the place, but hopefully, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Either way, let me know how you would rank each character in the comments section. Thank you for watching. Hopefully next video is a bit less all over the place. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. And I think my next video might be like a showcase of like my things I do. Like like I mentioned before, I'm very creative. for my like rainbow looms and beaded bracelet stuff. If or if any of you are interested in that. If not, I'll think of something else to do, like something. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you next. For real this time, I keep saying bye. But adios.